Well, it is a sad day to be a Southampton supporter as James Ward-Prowse's move to West Ham United has been finally confirmed. Obviously, there's been a lot of rumours, a lot of done deal sort of tweets, but now the confirmation is 100%, and it's a little bit heartbreaking, but we all know it's going to happen. He's been our captain for four years maybe. I'm not exactly sure how long, but obviously he's been in the club since he was 8 years old, 20 years at the club, scored many memorable goals, and he's honestly been our key player for a long time, and one player you really look to and say, he's the guy that will keep us up, or he's the guy that could win us the game. There's been many games where without James Ward-Prowse, we wouldn't have won. A lot of free kicks, that clutch points basically, and a lot of goals that he scored that really did save our ass at times. So he leaves the club as a legend. I'm not going to sit here and be one of the whiny babies on Twitter that just cry about everything. He's not a legend because he jumped ship when the club got relegated. Just shut up, bro, honestly. He quite literally is Mr. Southampton, especially for this era. Obviously, there's been a lot of legends in previous seasons and previous years that maybe you'd put above Ward-Prowse as a legend. But for me, growing up, Ward-Prowse has always been in the team. And then the last, 6-7 years, been a crucial player. So, in reality, in my opinion, Ward-Prowse is a legend. Obviously, it's not exactly the way we wanted to end, the relationship between Ward-Prowse. And obviously, maybe the doors never close for him. Maybe he'll come back to the club in some capacity, whether that's, 34-year-old player or, a coach or whatever. You never know, but he is a legend. He's really bled the club. He is someone that the current youth academy players should look up to. Seeing as someone joining the club at 8, going through every single rank in the youth academy to becoming in the first team at 17, 16, and then to become the club captain. That's basically everyone's dream when they're, at their boyhood club. It was my dream as well. Unfortunately, didn't make it, but you never know in the next life. So he basically lived a lot of people's dreams of going through the youth academy, becoming a professional footballer, and then captaining your boyhood club. But I don't have any bad blood with Ward-Prowse. I would guarantee that if we didn't get relegated, he'd still be here. But clearly the championship is just too far down for him, which is understandable. He is a Premier League player. He's proven that he can play at the Premier at a high level. And he's only got maybe 4 years left before he would start to go downhill. So it is understandable you don't want to spend a year, maybe 2 years in the championship, and then maybe 1 year fighting relegation. And by then you're sort of starting to derail. So it is understandable. The club got 30 mil for him. Obviously, we all rate him a lot higher than that, but with the club's relegation, you can't really ask for that much for a 28-year-old. But yeah, when it comes to fans, saying he's not a legend, saying all this, oh, he's a snake, he jumped ship and all this sort of thing. It's just like, come on, bro. Have some sort of respect. This guy has rejected other clubs before. There's been many rumours about Ward-Prowse leaving, and he's never left. He's never said anything about it. He's never created a fuss. He literally didn't create a fuss this season. All these bloody reports like, oh, he's desperate for the move, I doubt if the move never materialised fully, he would have complained. He would have had a problem at all because that's how professional he is. He's a club captain. He would never complain about stuff like that. He even played the first game of the season. If he was so, wanting to leave no matter what, he wouldn't have played the first game of the season. He wouldn't have captained the side. He wouldn't have got us a late assist to win the game. He wouldn't have done that. And that's because he's a legend, really. That's as simple as it is. But yeah, I still have me Ward-Prowse top from when I was 16, 17. I'm not going to throw it out, obviously, because I'm not a dumbass. I'm not going to, I saw a Spurs fan, buddy, pour ketchup on a Kane kit. You're just sitting there like, brother, you're not even in Europe and you expect him to stay. Come on, But nah, maybe, in 5 years' time, I'll get another Ward-Prowse top because he'll come back. It's hopeful thinking, but I'm allowed to. But yeah, so just thought I'd, give my thoughts on it. Obviously, it is a big loss. It's a turning point for the club. There's not really many players left that are sort of, like the Romeos and stuff like that, and obviously the Ward-Prowses. There's not that many players left there, and it's time for the new generation to come in, to make a name for themselves. And obviously there's a lot of open doors now, with a lot of players leaving, so there's a lot of opportunity for players to come through the academy, especially to make a name for yourself. Obviously you're thinking of Ballard and all those sort of players that could see this, see Ward-Prowse and what he's achieved and sort of go, I want to be like that as well. With a club, I don't want to be a club captain's different, but, being in the Premier League with Southampton would be quite the dream for a lot of people. I just think he's a role model. He's someone to look up to. And that's really about all I've got to say. I'm a little bit heartbroken, but obviously with the relegation, you knew he was going to go. You knew he was going to go eventually, even if it wasn't, by the first game or the second game. You know he was going to go. And I'm a little bit, I'm a little bit disappointed that he didn't do a video. But I understand that, not exactly leaving on a high note, like if you compare it to Declan Rice, who had just won the Conference League, and it's like, oh, what a big moment, we can be proud of that. When it comes to Ward-Prowse situation, obviously got relegated, so it's sort of would be the lowest of his career, really, because he's never been relegated with Southampton, so, yeah. I'm a little bit disappointed about that, but watching the videos of number 7 Ward-Prowse on Twitter, with him doing his golf swing and all this sort of shit, I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all, but it is what it is. Maybe one day he'll come back. Who knows? But yeah, just want to say I can't even speak. I just want to speak my thoughts, I guess, and obviously, give him a little sending off. Good role model and good legend and whatnot. And let's just hope that he does well. I mean, I always support certain players that leave the club with dignity. Obviously, there's been players in the past that just sort of shit on the club, and obviously you want them to fail, but he's one of the players that if he was to do well, everyone would be behind him, supporting him, saying well done and whatnot. He left on a good note. There wasn't any sourness about it. At the end of the day, the club didn't get relegated because he wasn't a good enough leader, or he wasn't a good enough player, or he didn't play well enough. The club got relegated because of the club. Poor recruitment, poor managers, poor scouting, all of it. From head to toe, the reason was the club fell apart, and it was not to do with Ward-Prowse. And everyone's saying, oh, his leadership was shit and all this. Like, you've never been in the bloody changing room. You've never spoken to the bloke. You've probably never even locked eyes with the bloke, but yet you know everything about it, don't you? Yeah, crazy. Yeah. So I hope he does well. I hope he pushes on. I hope he breaks the record, obviously, for Beckham's free kicks. It sucks that he's not going to do it in a Southampton kit, but, it is what it is. He got majority of them at Southampton. We'll take that. Hope he breaks it, and I hope he makes the England squad and he plays in the Euros in 2024. There's all these things that I hope for him. I rate him highly, and I kind of want him to prove a lot of the doubters wrong. I mean, a lot of the doubters think that he's shit, that he's not good enough and all this sort of shit. Most of them are Southampton fans because they're stupid. I hope he completely steamrolls that and proves that he is good enough, to play at the highest level. He's going to be playing Europa League, so hopefully he does well in that as well. And I wish him the best. And hopefully when he's 35, he comes back and retires here, It is what it is. But that's the video. Just thought I'd make this. It's a big player leaving. I'll see you guys on, tonight for a stream. Don't know what we're doing, but we'll be on stream. And then obviously, future videos. But I appreciate you listening to us. Write your comments, what you think about them and whatnot, if you want to. But yeah, I'll see you boys in the next videos and streams and whatnot. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you boys in the next one.